What's up guys, Video Game Guru here, and this is my Judge, Jury, Executioner guide for Gears of War 3. This first one is the Curb-Stomp, which is done by going up to a downed opponent and rapidly tapping Y so as not to do the gun's normal execution. I tried putting the weapons in a certain order of like when you get them-ish in the game, so you can get this on your first playthrough. I did it on my second, that's why you'll see things all over the place. That gun was the Lancer, and that is the normal one, and here is the chainsaw. The first one is done by simply holding Y, and the second one is done by going up to a downed opponent while pressing B to start the chainsaw. Here is the first Retro Lancer one, which is just like the original Lancer. You just hold Y, and this is the second Bayonet charge, where just as with the original Lancer you charge the chainsaw, this one uses the blades on the Retro Lancer. The next weapon is the Hammer Bust. This is a very common weapon in the game, found on lots of Locust, and it's also a pretty good gun on its own. Here we have the Gnasher shotgun. Now, when you're shooting normal Locust, you got to be careful not to kill them. I would suggest using a Lancer to shoot out their legs, but these are Queen Guards, so they were able to take two Gnasher shotguns. Here is the long shot and the Cog Pistol. I had two guys down here, so I thought I'd get them in one go. This next one is the Cog Punch. Now, for this one, you're going to want to hold a snub pistol or a grenade, go up to a downed opponent, and hold Y, and you will take it out in a fairly gory fashion. The next weapon is the Torque Bow, which is only found on Queen Guards, which I think are only Act 3 and later, so you're going to have to wait a little while to get this execution, but it's worth it. The next weapon is the Hammer of Dawn. This can be found sooner in the game, although it's more rare, and it can also be found at the end of the game. I did this in the beginning, it's just a little bit easier. The next weapon is the Boom Shot, which is only found on large boomers, savage boomers that aren't holding diggers. The sawed-off shotgun is easiest to find on the act or chapter where you're getting fuel for the submarine you're going to use to get to Azura. The next weapon, the Gorgon Pistol, can only be found on Armored Cantus, which only appear, actually I believe they first appear in the dock level when you're trying to get the submarine into the water to go to Azura. The Cantus are fairly difficult to kill on anything above normal, so I suggest doing it on a lower level. The Digger is often found on boomers that aren't holding boom shots. Ironically, boomers are more likely to hold diggers, especially on Act 2 when you're fighting your way through the Locust trenches. Here we have the neck snap. Now what you're going to want to do is go up to a downed opponent and hold X to pick him up, and then however you put him down, his neck will be snapped before he dies. The Boom Shield is found on Locust Maulers, and once you pick it up, you're reverted to only a pistol. So just take down an opponent and then bang with the shield. For the one shot, it's impossible to put an enemy into the execution state with the weapon, so you're either going to have to hold it and wait for an AI to put it into the execution state, or you're going to have to hit it with your whatever you're holding, and then go pick up your one shot and take it out, just like I did there. Just like the one shot, the mortar cannot put an enemy into the execution state, so here I put it down with my Lancer, and then I pick up the mortar and bash its head in. The Mulcher is yet another weapon that is too powerful to put an enemy into the down state. So, just as before, put it in and bash its head in. The Scorcher will only appear on the, I believe it's only in Act 5, as you're making your way up, or into and up the tower, so make sure you don't miss it, or you can go back and get it. The Cleaver can be found in Act 2 as you're making your way through the trenches. I'm not 100% sure of which chapter it is, but it should be 2, 3, or 4. And last but certainly not least is the Locust Arm Rip, which can only be gotten in Beast Mode. This can only be done with the most humanoid-like locusts, like Savage Grenadiers and Savage Drones. Once you've downed an opponent, go up to it, hold Y, and then just repeatedly press it to beat it senseless with its own limb. Thanks for watching, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in later videos.